Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've got my little microphone so I have better sound. I'm not going to tell you how long it took to set this microphone up and get it working, but we are going to jump into um, drawing. And there's no wrong way to draw. And why are we all trying to draw the same way? That's my question for today. And why did we create some kind of rule that everyone has to draw the same? And if you don't all draw the same, then your drawing is terrible. And that seems to be the message out there. I'm not sure if they're teaching that in an art school. I haven't been to art school, but it definitely seems to be a message that comes across in some of my comments about how I'm doing it wrong, or I'm not drawing correctly, or I'm not doing the exercises correctly, or just basic critique of my art. So my YouTube channel is um, a place where everyone can gather and draw and have fun and be yourself. It's really not about following the rules when it comes to drawing and when it comes to art. It's really about embracing your own creativity and embracing your own art style. And if you haven't discovered your art style, then there's lots of activities that we can do together to help you discover your own unique drawing and art style. That's what my YouTube channel is all about. So I'm just sharing my own lessons and my own drawing sessions and my own practicing with you so that um, you can follow along and join me, especially if I'm drawing late at night. I really am enjoying that. My cat is trying to get in. Hold on. Okay, there she is. She's trying to eat my plants. My favorite subject in school when I was young, when I was really young, like a little kid, I remember loving art. I saved all my art scrapbooks and artwork. I wish I had saved this one particular artwork that I did. Even at the age of 6 or 7, you did get grades in your art, in your coloring, and your little scrapbook journal where you did different seasons and all sorts of things. But I remember this one particular art project that we had. I don't know. I was 6 or 7. I might have even been younger than that, but you had to draw yourself. So I drew myself in a little red wagon because I think I really wanted a little red wagon. I'm not sure, but I drew myself and it looked kind of like a flat Stanley or like a stick man or a stick person in the red wagon. I was really proud of the artwork because of how it made me feel, because I wanted to have a wagon. I think I wanted my mom to take me to school in the wagon. I don't know, maybe other kids went to school in a wagon. I have no idea, but I remember being really proud of that artwork and I colored it red. And I just, we have these certain memories, and I loved that artwork. When I got my grade back, and this is funny because I would never do this now, it was an F with a big circle around it. And I think it's like a core memory burned in my brain, like this. I've never got, who gets an F when you're in grade school? Like, who gets an F for art? I do. I got an F. So it was an F with a circle around it. And I remember walking home looking at it. And it's funny, I was not upset at it. I actually remember thinking, that teacher's wrong. Like, this is beautiful. I love this artwork. And I couldn't believe um, that I got an F with a circle around it. And, there was nothing written on it. But it was like, I remember just thinking, she's wrong. This art is beautiful, and I love my little red wagon, and I love it so much. And it got me thinking, art isn't about the technical aspects of it, it's about how you feel. And to this day, I still remember that. I remember being confused as to why I got an F, because I loved that artwork so much, and it was very meaningful to me. And that's where we get to what makes us strive for perfection when it comes to art and not be our own selves when it comes to art. Why do we all have to draw the same way in order for art to be good? Are there not a lot of artists? And we always look back. We always look so far back. Why are the only famous artists that we keep talking about, you know, from 100 years ago, when there's so many amazing artists right now? But also, why are we all expected to draw the same way? It's not, in my opinion, art if we are all drawing everything exactly alike. If everyone is taught that art is only one way, then aren't we failing everyone? Because isn't art supposed to be self expression and what's from within coming out onto the paper? And if in art school we're teaching everyone everything has to be a certain way and everything has to be done one way, then what's the point? There is no self expression. We are all conforming and drawing alike, and then everything's the same. And that's the complete opposite of what art is about. And I honestly, when I'm doing my exercises and when I'm sharing my artwork, I'm just doing my own thing. And I'm so grateful for all the people that are joining me on this art journey. And, I encourage everyone, like, let go of all those rules and trying to be perfect and trying to draw a certain way, technically perfect and technically correct and exact right colors and shading. And it's interesting because I really love drawing faces and figures. I love drawing faces and figures, but I don't necessarily want to draw them to look perfect. And again, realism and perfection seems to be the theme everywhere I turn. And I think there was a time where I'd go online and I'd look for different like books or drawing lessons on how to draw, and everyone everything's exactly the same. Every art lesson on how to draw a face is exactly the same. It doesn't matter, it's all the same. The head has to be this shape, the eyes have to look like this, everything has to be a certain way, and you have to measure it. If you're getting a ruler out to draw, I've left the room. I'm not, I'm a ruler to draw is not for me. And that's just me personally, but I expect there's a ton of people just like me out there that have sort of felt like their art isn't good enough because they're not drawing it the way everyone else is doing it and the way everyone else is teaching it, and how we're all supposed to do it exactly like and exactly the same. But there are some amazing artists out there, not from 1800. Okay, there are amazing current artists out there that are drawing faces and figures in really fun and unique and wonky and odd ways, and I see them on Instagram and I just love all of it. And although I will say Instagram is not my favorite place to be, because again, everyone's striving to be perfect, everyone's striving to be the same. And I think I've gotten to a point in life where no, that's not what I'm here for. So if you're joining my channel and you're following along on my videos, all of my things are just, you're seeing me draw in 10, 15 minutes because that's the only amount of time that I have. And I don't want to conform to draw the way everyone else draws. And I don't want to do an exercise and have people come into my comments and tell me how I'm doing everything wrong. So I delete comments where people tell me I'm doing it wrong, because again, my YouTube channel is a space of, it's like a safe space for people who want to learn how to draw and might be timid or might feel like they have to draw perfect, and then they come to my channel and they see like my weird art, and you don't have to draw perfect and it's not necessary at all in any way. um, and there's a lot, if we again, for whatever reason, we're always focused on so far back. There's so many artists out there that went to art school and had to break free from it because of the rules of the in the art world. I guess there's a lot of rules that I don't really know about because I'm not paying attention to it. I'm just doing my own thing. But I am seeing more and more, especially like younger people who are quitting art school, or art school just wasn't what they thought it was going to be, because you think you're going to have some freedom of self-expression and freedom to create what's from your heart, but ultimately it's all about the technicalities and you're being judged on it. And I think the biggest killer of freedom of expression in art, for many people, not everyone, I think there's lots of people that can let it go and move on, but is the judgment. But it's not just the judgment of others, it's your own self judgment. And I think we've trained ourselves to judge ourselves through the eyes of others rather than just letting go of judgment and allowing yourself to draw whatever you want to draw and see what comes out. So, we're going to be doing some ugly art coming up um, on my channel on purpose. Let's make some ugly art. You got to get out of the perfection and trying to draw and create perfectly. So, yeah, if you're new to my channel, have a look at some of my videos. Nothing on it is perfect. It's all self expression, drawing from within, creating what comes from within out onto the paper. We are going to do some exercises, and it's not just pencils, pens, it's going to be whatever. And we're going to be making ugly art on purpose because I think once you make some ugly art, you're really going to be surprised at actually you like the ugly art. The ugly art is fun, and you're going to find a few things from your ugly art that you really like and enjoy, and you're going to discover your own artistic style. And so, for anyone who is struggling with perfection and judging themselves through the eyes of others or through the eyes of the internet, I want to say you got to let go, let go. It's so hard to do, though. It's hard to do because sometimes when I get comments in my YouTube, I'm always surprised, especially when people come right out and say you're doing it wrong. I've had that so many times. And yes, if I don't like comments critiquing my art because because my channel is all about self-expression, and it brings me down when I read comments critiquing me. That's not really, I'm not asking anyone to critique my art. And yeah, that's not what I'm on YouTube for. So I know a lot of people keep the criticisms in the comment section. It ruins the vibe and the feeling for me when I go into my YouTube and see comments like that. And just when you're in the back end of YouTube, you see if you don't reply to comments, you're going to see them. So if I ignore the comments that are critical of my art, sort of like that art teacher giving me an F, if I ignore that, that's the first thing I'm going to see in the back end of my YouTube channel. So that's why I will actually delete it. One time I tried to reply to somebody with just an emoji, but they got upset with me and said they were unfollowing me because really don't know why. But I think I didn't reply to the rude comment. I just gave like a thumbs up emoji. So yeah, I just delete them because I'm just here for myself. And it's almost like if you have an art journal and you keep it for yourself and you go through it and you have memories of drawing or creating something, you want it to be good. So my YouTube channel is like my art journal. I'm sharing it with everyone on YouTube, but so when comments come in that bring me down, I will delete them because it ruins the memory for me of creating that particular artwork. And I don't want to judge myself through the eyes of others. And if I get judgment that's harsh, or criticism that's harsh, or something saying you're doing it wrong, it's ugly, whatever, sometimes I'll let it sit and see if I can move forward with that negative wording being there. But usually, ultimately, after a few days, I just delete it because um, I guess this is my little bubble of joy. YouTube is my little bubble of joy where I get to create and have fun with people who want to create and have fun with me. So that's why I delete those comments. Um, let's stop judging ourselves through the eyes of others. Let's stop judging ourselves through the eyes of society and what tells us what's good art and what's bad art. We're just going to have fun creating art. So that's what my channel is all about. Let's forget perfection. Let's forget judgment, and let's join in and have some fun and create art from our heart and from within, put it on the paper and see what comes out. So I hope you join me for my ugly art sessions coming up soon. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful day.